that time of year, the night when all the ghouls and goblins come out and scare you. Actually, it's really not that scary. This is Jason Grandon with the Grandon Group, Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team, letting you know that the real estate market is really not that scary if you know what's going on. And today I've got a special guest with me, my wife, who during the Halloween season can be spooky, but other than that, she is like a princess. But she's here. Amy, say hi to everyone.
Hello.
So today we are going to talk about, we have kind of a fun episode. We want to just kind of get you in the mood for Halloween. It's 2 nights away. It's my favorite time of year. As Amy will tell you, I'm kind of the mayor of Halloween.
And Christmas.
Well, we love Christmas, but we got to get through Halloween first. As soon as the lights go out, though, Christmas or Halloween Eve, Christmas lights go up. We are excited for that. So I wanted to give you guys a little different input on the real estate market. First of all, it's still a great market out there. Yes, it's a little slow because of election season, and today's the first day where it's not 150 degrees. So actually, my wife's all bundled up here and stuff, so she must be cold, but it is. It's like 65 degrees right now. It's awesome. So the real estate market is still hot, but let me give you a better perspective from, she has to deal with me on it all the time. Amy, what do you think the real estate market is? What do you see going on out there?
Well, the real estate market is definitely popular right now in Arizona. Everybody wants to be here. It's 65 degrees. It's not quite fall, but yet it is. So it's perfect.
We really don't Arizona is fall and summer pretty much.
Arizona's summer and spring.
Oh yeah, summer and spring. I guess that's true. So we don't get too much of that. So, but yeah, the real estate market, the crowd, it's really getting crowded again. The streets are ridiculous. You were behind somebody in a Ferrari today that was putzing along. This is what you're seeing. You're seeing all these people that probably shouldn't be driving Ferraris, driving them.
He held a light up because it was so nice. He had to put his top down, and we all missed the light. But anyway, that's what you get here this time of year. So
anyways, call us up. It's a good time to buy. It is a buyer's market, so there's some good deals. But we kind of have a feeling that in the next couple of days, things are going to be changed. And the weather's cooler. Election will be done next week. We're going to have a very hot market. I think the next 3 or 4 years is going to be a really good market. So do not miss it. It's a great time to generate wealth. In fact, we were reading an article not too long ago that, you got your basketball players, football players, all your athletics, movie stars. They represent a very small percentage of the community that make millions of dollars. But the ones that have made the most, the millions, are the ones who buy and sell real estate. So if you got good partners like the Grandon Group, Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team, we can help you out. So, doing this a long time, and we've had some wild stories. So today I've got 3 stories we're going to burn through here just to kind of get you in the mood for Halloween. Call us up anytime. We want you to enjoy this. And so Halloween isn't just about ghosts and goblins. Real estate has a way of throwing its own tricks and treats in, especially around this time of year. So today, we're going to dive into some eerie, real-life stories from the Arizona market, ones that even seasoned agents might hesitate to enter. And so grab your pumpkin latte, turn out the lights, settle in for some hair-raising tales. It might make you second-guess the next time you have an open house. Amy, do you have any good Halloween stories?
No, but I think you should tell the story of that house you showed with the...
Well, it is. I'm going to tell that story. So Amy and I had just started dating. I just got into real estate, and the reason I got into real estate was because of her. So anyway, so we just started dating, and so I'm driving around, and houses are supposed to have their electric on. If you list a house, the electric's supposed to stay on so people can show it. So it was summertime. It was like maybe August. And it was super hot. So anyways, it's nighttime, last house of the night. It's about 8:30. It's getting dark. And we pull up to this house with the customer. And I'm like, darn it, the lights are off. So I'm like, this is going to be a pain. How are you supposed to show it? Now, keep in mind, too, iPhones are brand new, so we don't have all the little flashlights and all that stuff. So anyways, we get to the house, and I walk up to the door, and I see the doorbell light on. So I'm like, oh, the electric must be on. But it's not. I look through the window and I see a light that's on, but it was from the house. It was like plugged in, and there was newspapers scattered around. So I opened the door, walk in, and it looked like somebody had just got up and left, just like threw the paper down and left. So this is into the kitchen. This is over off of 7th Street in Thunderbird. Not to ruin the neighborhood there, but it's it's a great neighborhood. But this is a pretty scary story. You remember me telling you this story?
I do.
So I take this client into the house, and you can feel a presence. It's very thick, it's hot, and it looks like someone just left. So we're walking around the house. Again, it's getting dark. We're making our way around, and we walk into the master bedroom. And we get into the bedroom, and you can literally feel this presence. You remember when I told you about that?
It was freezing cold in that one room.
So the electric's off. It's freezing cold in this room. And the people were like, what is going on here? So anyways, we keep looking around, and there's a weird feel. You can just feel like a presence. So we make our way around the house. We go outside. Now, by now, it's pitch dark out, and we're trying to look at the air conditioning unit onto the east side of the house. The neighbor comes out, and he's like, hey, what are you guys doing? I'm like, hey, I'm a realtor, Jason Grandon. And we were looking at the house, and we're like, do you know anything about this house? And he's like, why? And I'm like, well, it's the electric's off, but the master bedroom was freezing. So the guy's like, oh, you don't know the story. And I'm like, clearly not. So apparently, the air condition always freezes, and that room is the only room in the house that gets frozen out all the time. And I mean, it's cold. They had 4 air conditioning units within a year. So apparently, there was a double murder in the house, in that bedroom. A couple brothers, I guess, got in an argument and killed each other. It was a murder-suicide or something to that effect. And everyone says it's still haunted. It happened in that room. Air conditioning units, brand spanking new, keep freezing over. And it's just one of those deals that kind of makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up. And this is a 100% true story. I'll never forget it. How many times have I told this story over the years?
Oh, many times.
So, anyway, so that's one of the stories for Scottsdale. And now let's move into some other areas here that things have happened. Do you want to read the Prescott one?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Do you know any good haunted house stories?
I don't.
So do you believe in haunted houses?
I don't actually believe in haunted houses.
So you don't think things are...
I don't think things are haunted by actual people. I think they're haunted by demonic spirits.
Oh, see that? Perfect for Halloween. That's scary. So here's a spooky story for you as well. Oh, by the way, so that house did not sell. Those clients found somewhere else, and not even in that area. So, but that was a scary story. And the first taste of real estate, you start getting nervous about stuff like that. So, but here's the story that happened up in Prescott, Arizona. And this one actually was probably dealt with more with my sister because she handles our northern division. So, Prescott, Arizona is a place known for old historic homes and even eerie legends. So we called this one the Haunted Keys of Prescott. So years ago, all right, this is when my sister first got into it. She was helping a couple find their dream home in Prescott. And for those of you that are in Prescott, it's beautiful up there. It's a lot cooler than the Phoenix area. It's surrounded by pines. You got golf courses, hiking. And it's also, it's actually, you probably didn't know this, Amy. Did you know Prescott is considered Christmas town? It's like the biggest Christmas town in the country. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Also, the world's oldest rodeo there. So anyways, years ago, we're helping someone find a house there. And Prescott, they wanted something with charm and views of surrounding pines and all that fun stuff. So Stacey came across a beautiful Victorian-era home on the edge of town, up by the courthouse, just close enough to the Prescott National Forest that had everything, classic charm, ornate architecture, and incredible views. So the couple was enchanted until they found out it had a reputation. Locals told us that the house had been owned by a family back in the 20s. They say the father had mysteriously vanished one evening, and though the police never solved it, some folks whispered that he'd hidden a fortune somewhere in the house before he disappeared. Since then, anyone who's tried to buy the property didn't stay long, claiming that they felt a quote-unquote unseen presence. They didn't want them there. The couple was intrigued, decided to put an offer in anyway, hoping to turn it into a cozy little family retreat, getaway and probably ultimately like a little Airbnb. Did not happen. So here's where it gets good. Once the deal closed, my sister Stacey handed them the keys, wished them luck. A few weeks later, a month or so goes by, we get a frantic call from this couple. They called me. I'm like, who keeps blowing up my phone? I didn't have their number in the phone. And, it was earlier on, so, before you started saving numbers. Getting a frantic call from this number, and then my sister gets it. So she answers it, and they were shaken up. And they insisted that both of us come over. So I had to drive up from the valley. Stacey's up there. They insisted we come over, made it up there finally a couple hours later. When we arrived, they led us to the kitchen where they had a dozen copies of the front door keys scattered on the counter. Okay? You're like, what? Is that strange? No. The strange thing is they hadn't made any duplicates. Yet every morning when they woke up, a new key would appear in the kitchen. Now, these weren't ordinary keys. They looked old, tarnished, and none of them quite matched the original key to the house. Now, you guys are going to be like, Jason, you are full of it. Let me tell you, they had tried throwing them away only to find even more of them the next day. Crazy, huh? So, then came the worst night. They woke up to creaking sounds coming from the hallway and found every single key lined up neatly along the floor, pointing towards their bedroom door. It was as if someone or something was sending them a message. Needless to say, they called us the next morning, asked us to list the house, back on the market. To this day, okay, the house sold eventually again. And we haven't dealt with it since then. But the house did sell until this day. People still hear whispers that house is looking for the, quote, right owner. Someone who will finally find whatever it is that Prescott Old Victorian home was hidden away. It's a true story, folks. I know you're like, there's no way. So the house is still sitting there. I don't believe it's been sold. We haven't dealt with it and stuff. But we still hear the stories on it and stuff. Prescott has an incredible history, and your presence is welcome. This is Prescott, Arizona. It's a beautiful place. But I'm telling you, if you call and this house comes up on the market, I don't know if we're going to show it. It's pretty scary. So very weird, and you actually have to be there. Because when they're telling you the story, you just start thinking, oh my God, these people are crazy. But it was definitely weird, and they still have the keys today. So, let's get into one more story for you for Halloween. And again, thank you for making this Arizona's #1 real estate and lifestyle podcast. We are really excited about being realtors. We love bringing new people to Arizona. We love selling houses. We make sure that everybody is top priority and just showcasing. It's all about the marketing and stuff, and we want to build relationships with realtors. And so it's been really good to us. And thanks to you, you keep making this a great podcast. And the Lockbox can also be seen on YouTube, Facebook, all that fun stuff. Okay, one final story for Halloween before I let you go trick-or-treating. I'm calling this one The Desert Dweller in Cave Creek, Arizona. Okay? Now, this is all over the course of our, I've been in the business a little over 20, so this is all over the course of the 20 years. So, this is a few years ago. I listed and this place here. This is out north of Harold's over in like Spur Cross area. So a few years ago, I listed a beautiful old house just on the outskirts of Cave Creek. So kind of like Spur Cross area. It had character, a classic ranch-style beauty with rustic desert charm, wide windows overlooking the saguaros, and views that stretched out over the mountains. Absolutely beautiful. When you talk about Arizona, this is the house you're talking about, okay? So, there was just one small catch. The house had been sitting on the market for years. No one seemed to know why. The realtor had no clue. It looked perfect. It was priced right. And yet, no takers. Finally, I decided I wanted to find out what was going on. I had some clients that were interested in it, heard the stories, heard the rumors, grew up in Arizona, so this stuff does not affect me at all. So I said, you know what? I'm going to just go spend the night out there. And grabbed some camping gear, headed out there and stuff. Decided to spend the night to get a feel for the place and hopefully shake off any rumors that the house was bad luck. Plus, huge commission on this house. So if you get it sold and we get through inspections and everything, this is going to be a great hit and a great way to end of the year. So I arrived just before sunset, took some photos, and settled in. The evening was great. The sunset was beautiful. You could just kind of hear the rustling of the desert critters outside. It was just Arizona. When you talk about Arizona, this was the place. So, dozing off, you're just kind of hanging out. What do you do when you're camping? So around midnight, I heard what sounded like footsteps on the gravel outside, crunching, getting closer. I peered out and I saw nothing. I'm like, what is this? And then I started thinking, it's just an animal, maybe a javelina or a coyote, or it could be a bobcat or even a mountain lion. But either way, I brushed it off. But when I turned back around, you're not going to believe this, there were faint footprints on the tile floor that I definitely hadn't made. They weren't my feet. I ignored it, headed to bed, telling myself it was probably just some sand or dragged in or something like that from the rocks. Okay, so finally get to sleep, just dozing off in the room there. Then around 3 a.m. there was a knock on the front door. Just one slow, deliberate knock. I froze, waiting to see if it happened again. And it did. Except each knock got heavier than the last. I called out, "Who's there?" But there was no answer, only silence. And when you're in the desert, all you see is the stars. It was dead silence. Needless to say, I didn't sleep the rest of the night. When I finally woke up from a half sleep, I went back, laid back down. I woke up to courage, looked through the peephole. There was no one there. But the eerie part was, okay, so after the answering the door, I skipped it. I finally woke up to courage to look through the peephole. There was no one there. I opened the door, no one there. Quiet, just the beautiful views of the stars and the moon, but no one there. And so, that's not the eerie part. I shut the door. The footprints were back, leading right up to the door and then vanishing. Like somebody had just walked up. For what I could, I tried to go back to sleep. Obviously didn't. I got out of there the next morning when the sun came up early. I've since heard from the neighbors. And let me tell you, I couldn't get out of there fast enough. But I've since heard from the neighbors and the people that live out there that the house was once owned by a man who disappeared in the desert decades ago. His body was never found. But some of them say he comes back around the Halloween season just to make sure no one is staying in his house. And as far as I know, till this day, the house is still sitting on the market, just waiting. So, if you're brave enough to take a look, we'll take a ride out there. But you know what? If we do it, let's do it after Halloween. Because I'm telling you, this story is one that sticks with you for a while. And there's nothing more weird when you look outside and you see things that you cannot explain. So, with that said, happy Halloween and happy fall, y'all. Hope you've enjoyed these episodes of the scary stories. Listen, we love coming up with these stories and telling you about them. And hey, they're true. So you can say, oh my God, the Grandon Group's crazy. But we've had some wild stuff. There's other ones too that we could get into. But these were the three that we wanted to kind of share with you this year. Again, we hope you guys have an amazing Halloween. We are here for all of your real estate needs. Anything real estate related, let us know. We are amping up to just make the rest of this year really great. 2025 is going to be incredible. We want you to get involved in the real estate industry. It is fantastic, and there's just some great things that are going to be happening. So have a great Halloween. Reach out to me, my sister, whatever you need. We answer all the emails. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, all those social media stuff. And again, thanks guys and girls for making us Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team. Also, thank you for making the Lockbox Arizona's #1 lifestyle and real estate podcast. Again, we are just cranking on this and we enjoy doing it. So as long as you like it, we'll keep doing it. Hey, you guys have a happy Halloween. Get ready for November. We've got several podcasts lined up for November, including the live shows. And it's going to be exciting because we've got some wild stuff we're going to talk about. Looking forward to it. Thanks again, everybody. Jason Grandon here with the Grandon Group, Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team.